Hi and welcome to Office Fluent. My name is Jan, and today we're taking a look at conditions again. Last week we had the topic of conditional formatting a cell based on a certain condition. But we can also work with cells with conditions without formatting anything. So let's take a look at the if statement. The if statement is one of the easiest logical applications in most programming languages and also in Excel. If has a very simple structure. If something is true, then something should be there. And if that is not true, then something else should be there. That's the basic form, and I think it's very easy to understand. It's like a condition: if it's dark outside, the lights outside go on. If it's not dark outside, the lights go off. It's easy as that, only in Excel. Let's take a look at a very basic version of this. I have my table here again with my locations, quarters, articles, and numbers overall. And we want to see if we need to perform a checkup on a certain article in a certain quarter because the values are not what we hoped it would be. So what we want to do is we want to place a yes in this box here if the number of the profit here is below €1,000. So what we're going to do is type equal if, and we can also already see we have if error, if and a, ifs. But we're going to stay with the normal if for now. I'm opening up the brackets, and now I can see if a logical test, this is the condition we need to type in, then if it's true, then the value if true will be displayed, and if it's not true, the value if false will be displayed. So our logical test is if this cell here is smaller than 1,000. And remember, between the steps of a function, we have a semicolon. And now you can see the value if true is highlighted. So what do we want to see if it's less than 1,000? Yes, we need a checkup. And if I just typed in yes, it will not work. Why? Because Excel tries to see everything as a number that is not in quotation marks. So if I want to write something or display a written text, I always need to put it in quotation marks. So we want to display yes if it is less than 1,000, and we want to display no if it is more than 1,000. And if I close the brackets and press enter, you can see yes, 791 is less than 1,000. And now I can just drag and drop here in the corner to the bottom, and I can see everything which is yes is less than 1,000, and everything that is above 1,000 will display a no. That's the most easy or the most simple application for the if statement, checking if a number is met or not met, or if something is equal to something. And if yes, display a yes, and if no, display a no. So this might be nice to have, but I think it's even easier if we use conditional formatting for this. Just display everything that is below 1,000 in red, and you're good to go. But now the next thing we might want to do is to give a bonus for every product that has crossed the 2,000 because it performed really well, and we want to give a 2% bonus or 2% of the profit as a bonus to the employees. So again, we're working with the profit line here, and I'm going to type if, and again, if the profit this time is bigger than 2000, then we want to do a bit of math. What do we want to do? We want to display 2% of the profit. So it's again the profit times 0.02 for 2%. And what do I want to display if it's false? Nothing. So I just leave it empty, close the brackets, and you can see for the 791 for the first quarter sneakers in New York, there's no bonus. But if I drag this down again, you can see there are a few posts, a few items that will bring a small bonus to the employees. So far for the normal if. What you also can do is you can stack these ifs. So for example, we want to send out a bonus. And again, I'm typing if F2, so the profit is bigger than 2000, then we want to do our F2 times 0.02. But if it's false, I'm again typing if, because I can still use another condition in case it's false. And if it's false, I want to check if the revenue has been bigger than, let's say 3000 or 4000. 4000 might be good. And if it's yes, then I'm still going to give out these 2% of the profit. And if it's false, I'm giving 0. Make sure that you close a bracket for every bracket you open. So I opened one here with the if, and I opened another one here with this if. So I need to close 2 at the end. If I only closed 1, you will see it will just display and not work. And if I close 2, you see 0. Now let's see if there is actually a situation. Yep. Here we have a revenue of more than 4,000, but a profit that's far below 2,000. So there's still a bonus for reaching the revenue. So like I showed you just a moment ago, you can stack different functions into each other. So for example, if a condition is true, then I want to sum up all items that meet the condition. So because this was always a little bit more difficult, Microsoft decided to put in new functions. For example, if I wanted to have the sum of all, the number of all items that are bigger than 2000, I could have gone through a list of items and I could count each item on each other and then make a count of everything. And instead I can just write count if, because this is a special function which allows me to not count everything. If I count from F2 to F121, we know it's 120 items I have in this list. But I can also set a criteria. So for example, I only want to count everything that is bigger than 2000. And if I close this now, you can see 20 of my 120 items are bigger than 2000 in profit. And as another example, I want to get the average number, so the mathematical mean of all profits of all sneaker products. So what can I do here? Again, there is a special average, and you can see it here, the average if, and it allows me to set a range, a criteria, and an average range. So this means the range is the part where you're searching for the criteria, and if you want to use the average of a different range, you can add it, otherwise it uses the average of the range. Now this is a little bit hard to understand. I'm trying to make it easier by just showing you how. So my condition is I want to have sneakers written in the column C here. So my range is the whole column C. It's C2 to C121. My criteria is that it's equal to sneakers. And now we only gave Excel the articles row, so we also need to give them the average range, which is F2 to F121. And if I close this up now, you can see all the sneakers combined and taken to average are producing around 1,100 euro overall quarters. I hope you got some new information out of this video. Please tell me in the comments what you need conditions for. Maybe some new examples, maybe something to share where you think this is important. And otherwise, thank you for watching. See you next week. Please like and subscribe, and bye.